Hello and welcome to another edition of Trends on LJE News, where we bring you the latest and developing stories in Nigeria and of course across the globe. My name is Omotola Adeleke. I have right here with me Judith. Judith, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. All right, now don't forget you can be a part of our growing online community by hitting that follow, like, share, and subscribe button right now on all platforms at LJE News. Let's quickly run through our headlines for this edition of Trends. God made me president of Nigeria, says Tinubu. Don't vote for me if I fail. Tinubu's electricity promise reemerges online. UK tightening security as Tinubu heads to Windsor for state visit. 9 senators defect to ADC, shaping Senate political landscape. ADC declares attempted suspension of Senator Ireti Kingibe illegal. Electricity crisis worsens as gas suppliers move to halt supply over debt. Woman withdraws allegations against Works Minister Umahi, issues public apology. Turaki camp speaks on reconciliation with Wike-led PDP. Now to the details. President Bola Tinubu has described his rise to Nigeria's presidency as part of a divine plan, affirming his commitment to good governance, rule of law, and democratic values. Speaking at an interfaith iftar at the presidential villa in Abuja with APC and IPAC leaders, he emphasized strengthening electoral institutions and advocated for direct primaries to increase party member participation. Tinubu recounted his struggles for democracy, including protest, detention, and exile, saying, "I followed the leadership destiny that God has chosen for me." He reaffirmed his dedication to Nigerians' unity and the principles of democracy. Also, an old campaign video of Bola Ahmed Tinubu promising steady electricity has resurfaced online as Nigerians grapple with worsening power outages nationwide. The clip recorded during the December 2022 presidential campaign shows Tinubu assuring citizens that constant electricity would be delivered if he was elected. He also pledged to end the estimated billing and urged Nigerians not to vote for him again if he failed to keep the promise. The video has circulated widely on Facebook and X after electricity generation on the national grid reportedly dropped to about 3,940 megawatts, intensifying power outages and forcing businesses to rely more on expensive fuel. Judith, the video resurfaces again. I remember Esther. Yes. Esther talked about this video. I also remember you talking about, the particular video not too long ago. Now, coincidentally, the video is coming back on board again. It's trending again. What would you have to say to this?
Well, honestly, I have what I have an issue with in the video is the fact that he said if the electricity is not constant, we shouldn't vote for him. I honestly don't believe we even voted for him the first time. It should have been.
Did he vote himself in? I don't understand.
You can also say that. I honestly want to believe that we didn't vote for him the first time. He put himself there somehow. He just managed to put himself. But I honestly do not believe that Nigerians voted him the first time. I feel like it should be, if I don't provide constant electricity, I will not even contest. He should not even contest at all, because the promise has obviously not been kept, and with the way things are going, it will not even be kept. So you should just don't contest, sir. Please, sir, just don't contest.
So what you're trying to say now, because he just said by himself that the fact that he's president today, it's God's will, it's divine intervention, it's divine plan. So are you saying God did not make President Bola Tinubu the president of this country? It's not God's plan.
Of
course, God's plans are always the best, right?
As Christians, we like to believe that whatever happens is all God's plans, and even when bad things happen, it's because God allowed it to be so for a reason. But honestly, does he even believe in God? Because if you believe in God, you would try to, I don't know, do things the right way, so you'd be right in the sight of God. But if you claim to believe in God and you are not doing things the right way, the people that are put in your care, you don't care for them, are you truly a believer?
Hmm. All right. Anyways, he's Muslim. His wife is the Christian. In fact, his wife is the woman of God.
She's
So you
supposedly a
don't think
pastor.
you don't think the woman should, or has the ability to influence the husband spiritually, or use
I
both their
mean,
spiritual beliefs,
he's
to
Muslim.
complement each other.
He's Muslim, so he believes in Allah.
Okay.
So if he
Allah
says
is God
God,
to
exactly.
Muslims.
So God, Allah, I don't think he believes in anyone. I think he only believes in himself.
Okay. Britain will enforce strict security measures, including extended airspace restrictions and the deployment of armed officers as Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrives for a state visit hosted by Charles III at Windsor Castle on March 18. Thames Valley Police said the security operation will involve specialist unit, including armed officers, mounted patrols, search teams, and road policing unit. Airspace restrictions over Windsor would also be extended from 7 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. During the visit, of course, authorities said surveillance systems, protective barriers, and other security measures will be in place to ensure the event proceeds safely while urging the public to remain vigilant. No fewer than 9 senators from different parties formally joined the African Democratic Congress ADC on Thursday, signaling a significant shift in the Senate political balance. Among them are Aminu Tambuwal Sokoto South, Enyinaya Abaribe Abia South, Binos Yaro Adamawa South, Victor Ume Anambra Central, Tony Wonye Anambra North, Lawal Usman Kaduna Central, Ogoshi Onawo Nasarawa South, Austin Akobundu Abia Central, and Ireti Kingibe FCT. Their defection letters were read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who dismissed claims that the ruling APC orchestrated the moves. The defections, largely due to internal crisis in opposition parties, leave the APC with 87 senators, the PDP with 7, and boost the ADC to 7, while Labour and SDP now have no representation. Also, the African Democratic Congress ADC has condemned the alleged suspension of FCT Senator Ireti Kingibe by its Wuse ward, calling it illegal and unconstitutional. ADC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi said the ward lacked authority to suspend a sitting senator. The Use ward claimed Kingibe violated party rules, including insubordination, absenteeism, and running parallel registration processes, and announced her indefinite suspension after a March 10 meeting. Ward executive submitted a decision to the Abuja Municipal Area Council chapter for ratification, where with Chairman Omale Sule confirmed, stating the matter would follow proper party procedures before any action. It's not been too long that Ireti Kingibe just joined the African Democratic Congress from the Labour Party. And the ADC, especially from her ward level, already suspended her. I mean,
Well, the leadership of the party are coming out now to say that the suspension is illegal and null and void, since a ward cannot suspend a party, and that they would investigate further. So,
no,
but
in fact, suspension is actually, in fact, disciplinary action is actually supposed to start from the ward level.
from the ward level,
Yes.
then but the party leaders themselves are saying that the ward has no power to suspend
A sitting senator.
and that they would handle the matter themselves. In this case, is I think dicey is the word, because I mean this level, the people that are supposed to have direct order over her, because that is her word, they are supposed to be able to tell her to punish in quotes for her actions, any wrongdoing in the party. But then the people on top are now saying, oh, you don't have this right, and just disregarding what the other party, what or the lower levels are saying, and saying that they would take further steps to investigate further. So this case is something that is and she just recently moved, and there is already all this these problems arising.
You
I
know,
think it's
I was reading through comments on Facebook and X, based on this particular story, and I saw some people make some controversial statement. Some were claiming, the Minister of FCT, who, of course, obviously has an issue with Ireti Kingibe. They don't see eyeball to eyeball. So people are accusing, the FCT Minister, Yesom Wike, of orchestrating this particular move. Do you think that's possible?
I mean, in the political space in the country, it feels like anything is possible at this point. But then he's a member of the PDP, although he works for the APC. So I don't think his influence I don't think he would have any influence.
You
On
don't
the
think so?
ADC.
Because this is an FCT matter. For crying out loud,
But
the
then
King
there
is
are
FCT.
parties.
The world is in FCT.
FCT. But these are very different parties,
Okay.
and each party has its own leadership. It has its own ideology and vision. So I don't think the FCT minister has any influence at all in the ADC. The ADC is like a new party, I guess, or it's just rising. It's one of the rising parties. I think it's been there, but it's just coming to light at this point. So the FCT minister I don't think it would have much influence on the activities of the ADC at all.
All right. Nigeria may face worsening electricity shortages as gas suppliers threaten to halt supply over mounting debt owed by power generation companies. The chief executive officer of the Association of Power Generation Companies, Joy Ogaji, said a debt crisis is already affecting gas supply to thermal plants. According to her, Nigeria's electricity output has dropped to about 3,334 megawatts, largely due to gas shortages. She revealed that total debt owed to generation companies have risen to 6.8 trillion naira as of February 2026. Meanwhile, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, said steps are being taken to address the situation. Judith, Adebayo Adelabu also has, a governorship ambition in Oyo State, and I think he's been pursuing that. Don't you think there's a level of misplaced priority, you being the Minister of Power, which is something that is not something to write home about right now. Of course, we have issues with steady power supply in Nigeria. And in fact, the meteorological agency people had stated clearly that the heat these days is probably going to get worse. And of course, we would need electricity. But look at what we are having. Although Adebayo Adelabu is also still saying that they are working on the matter, promises have been made by the same minister. In fact, the minister said as of last year that when there's a split with band A, band B, that there will be stable electricity. In fact, there was a time one of the oil and gas sector leaders mentioned, I can't remember the name, but she mentioned that Nigerians should be taxed more, that more money is needed. They need more money in the oil and gas sector, especially, the electricity sector, to boost electricity supply in Nigeria. What are you saying?
Well, I agree with you. The minister of power, the minister that is supposed to be in charge of power, has very, very misplaced priorities at the moment, because he's focusing on his governorship ambitions, and while he's not performing optimally in the office he already holds. So I mean, why should we trust you, or the people of Oyo State trust you to vote for you? I don't think there is any state in the country at the moment that can boast of steady lights. I don't think there is, and there are states that cry out that for about a week now they've had no lights, not even a blink.
The presidential villa already budgeted billions of naira for solar electricity.
Exactly. So how are you a minister and you are not performing in the office you already hold, and you are still aiming to go ahead to become a governor? Should the people of the state even trust you? And the issue of lights in this country, saying they want to charge more money, I don't think Nigerians have issues with paying more if we are going to see what we're paying for, because people are paying for lights and they're not seeing the light. So why should we keep giving you more money when, if we pay for lights, we pay thousands of naira for lights, and then we have barely 2 hours of lights daily? What's the point of paying you more? And then we have issues of the grid collapsing. We have issues of the transformers failing and just blowing and all of that. So like, why are you asking for more money when you cannot even maintain the resources that you already have, the things that you already have? You cannot at least show prospects, give us a reason to trust you and give you more money.
But you heard the statement that was being made by Gas Suppliers Association. You don't think, the lack of gas, could actually be the problem that we have right now in the electricity
I really
sector?
don't believe
Because
there
now
is a
generation
Gencos.
companies are having issues with the federal government because of the amount of money that is being owed to them.
Yeah.
Over 6 trillion naira, and now we are hearing of gas suppliers having issues with the federal government, in fact planning to shut down. Do you think these reasons are even viable, for Nigerians to accept that, yes, okay, maybe these reasons are good and that's why we don't have steady power supply?
I honestly don't believe there is a lack of gas to be supplied. I think the main issue is the monies that are owed to them, and we've seen over time that the people, the companies, the power companies, their staff, when a particular area or a particular place doesn't pay, they go there to cut their lights. So it's not like we've not been paying. Although there is electricity theft in the country, there are people that do the bypass and all of that. But when these things are properly maintained, those issues will not be arising. I think the issue is majorly a lack of maintenance, and then the debts that they are being owed. Because Nigeria supplies lights to some other African countries. The lack, we don't hear these countries coming out to say there are blackouts, there is lack of lights and all of that, or lack of gas to supply to them. So I don't think the lack of gas is an issue at all. It's a no issue at this point. It is the debt, and they are right to ask for their monies, because we are working for you and you are owing us as much as 6.8 trillion naira. That is a whole lot of money, and Nigerians have been paying this money. So why are we not receiving the money that you're being paid?
All right. Tracy Ohiri has publicly withdrawn her allegations against Nigerian's Minister of Works, David Umahi, and issued an apology for the controversy surrounding her earlier claims. In a viral video, Ohiri said she was quoted out of context and clarified that the minister did not invite her to Ebonyi State. She also denied claims that Umahi visited her hotel room, adding that she had no direct dealings with Nella engineers. Ohiri expressed regret over the embarrassment caused to the minister and his family, explaining that after consulting with her family and reviewing recent events, she decided to withdraw the allegations and give peace a chance. Omoyele Sowore, Nigerian activist, on Thursday expressed skepticism over the businesswoman's apology to Minister of Works David Umahi, suggesting she was pressured into apologizing. Umahi paid Tracy 110 million naira, he said. Judith.
Well, I'm not very privy to every detail of the story, to the details of the story, but I think I agree with Shore. She came out on her own. She was not forced to come out. She came out on her own, and she cried out that the minister owes her some money and she's being bullied. Honestly, I think that as the minister has paid her, she's deciding to withdraw her earlier statements. And although there might have been certain exaggerations,
there's no proof that the minister has paid her anything. So where is the one just claiming that the minister, because there's no proof actually?
I mean, he seems to be really involved in the story. So I think that if he's saying that she has been paid, he would not.
But someone like Tracy, who is the supposed victim here, should come out to say, yes, I was paid 110 million naira. It shouldn't be coming out from Sowore, who is just there to support.
She, at the moment, I think she's focused on retracting her earlier statements and apologizing for the damage that she caused, the damage in quotes, because honestly, I do not believe she lied in the first place. She might have exaggerated her story, but I honestly do not believe she lied in the first place, because this is a minister. He's currently a minister in the States, and he owed her some money. So why would she come out to, I don't know, tell such grievous lies against a sitting minister, knowing the gravity of such offenses?
But from antecedent of some of the issues that have happened in recent times, there are people who have accused people wrongly, and at the end of the day, we discover they are all lies.
The issue of false accusations in this country. I mean, people do a lot of things for attention. You know, content with the content creation things that we talked about the other day. But the woman is not a content creator; she's a businesswoman. So if saying or insinuating that she lied for attention, what does she need the attention?
She's
for?
been gaining the attention. We've been seeing her in gyms creating content and all that recently.
All of that recently.
Yes.
Wow.
She's been creating content.
So I mean, the issue honestly is, like I said earlier, I'm not very privy to the details. So, but
you
I
think
do
she's
not
been
believe-
pressured to actually apologize?
Yes,
All right.
I really think so.
All right. The factional national publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Ini Ememobong, has revealed ongoing effort to reconcile warring factions within the opposition party. The reconciliation push faces challenges as the camp aligned with Nyesom Wike, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, reportedly support a second term for Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while the faction linked to Kabiru Turaki insist the party should present a strong presidential candidate. Speaking on Arise News, Ememobong expressed optimism about reconciliation but maintained that the party would field candidate out at all levels, including a viable presidential contender. Are we seeing Wike win again? Are we seeing these people succumb to Wike's, push? Wike's, someone called it intimidation, not me. So is that what we're seeing from the Turaki camp?
Yes, actually, yes. I think it was Esther that mentioned that Wike off air, that Wike is a powerful man in politics, and I think some other people too have come out to say that Wike knows how to play politics.
Is that knowing how to play politics? Is politics about intimidation? If intimidation is to come by,
we've seen him go to war with certain people, certain other politicians, and eventually he always comes out victorious. So I think honestly, if knowing how to play politics is the intimidation thing you talk about, then honestly,
but
yes.
knowing how to play politics is not about intimidation, actually. So we don't let some people young people who might want to get involved in politics to think that is playing politics, because that is not playing politics. Politics is supposed to actually be, a positive thing. Leadership, a humble servant. That's what you're supposed to be as a politician, not someone who wants to lord over anyone. I'm not saying anybody.
I really wish you could. I mean, we could play this, what you've just said, to our politicians in this country, because over time we've seen that our politicians are none of those things. They are neither humble nor serving anybody. They most of them just serve themselves. They are just there to serve their own personal interests and to get the gains from politics, and then they just slide away. None would be a stretch, but our politicians, especially in this country at this time, those in the ruling party, they are not serving us. They are not doing anything in the interest of the people at all. They are just there to get things for themselves, get their own interests, to serve their own interests, and then they just go away. So this case in the PDP, honestly, if I am to say, I would say that the PDP should, at this point, I don't know, just
they should succumb to Wike.
I don't want to say they should give up, but honestly, they should just let it go at this point. Because I mean, if they are pushing for reconciliation without dealing with the several internal issues they have, I mean, a certain faction are deciding to support the sitting president, who is a member of the opposition APC party. That's even going to create more problems for them, because each political party is supposed to bring up a candidate.
But is it not obvious that should be sort of an anti-party activity?
Exactly.
It shouldn't be against.
Exactly.
The PDP has been existing for a while. Is that not a part of their constitution?
Exactly.
Shouldn't someone be punished for an anti-party activity?
I mean, we've seen that. We've seen the example you gave the other time, that the other faction of the PDP expelled Wike from the party, since he obviously works for the opposition now, and then he in turn expelled the leadership of the other faction from the party too. So these internal issues are too many, and it feels like all these things they're just working against themselves at the moment.
But let's also get to think of it. The courts I said this the other time. I
Yeah.
usually believe the court is supposed to be the last hope of the common man, especially when someone, is more powerful than
Then
you
you
are in
are, yeah.
influence and other things. But it seems the court is towing the line of Wike, because the court is supposed probably to be the hope of the Turaki-led camp if they feel they are right. They've gone to court a couple times. In fact, Wike has been winning back to back. Wike won the latest one, the Court of Appeal. Now they are planning of appealing it in the Supreme Court as it is right now. But I mean, anti-party activity. Don't you think the court should take that into consideration?
I mean, somebody once told me that Wike is friends with everybody in this country. He's literally paddies with everybody. And I think I also heard that him and some of the judges in this country, they are friends. He gifts them, he buys them
But
things.
is
He
that
buys
supposed to
them
make
houses.
any
I mean,
judge or any
it's not
court
supposed
partial?
to. It's not supposed to do that. But we've seen the way things go in this country, where if you are my person, if you are my friend, I would do things to favor you always, notwithstanding the every other thing, not taking into account every other thing. So we see now that this person openly supports the opposition. The clear normal thing to do is to expel him and let the other faction, the parts that believe strongly in the parties in PDP's vision and everything, the people that are still PDP members, to be the ones in charge and to, I don't know, take control of their party. But we're saying now that they've gone to court and they are planning to take it. And I believe me, the Supreme Court would also still grant victory to Wike, even with all the anti-party activities. And some other members of the party too, who obviously support Wike, and the sitting president, who is the opposition, they would still get the victory, because things in the
Are we? So,
the country
are
are
you
like
trying to
this.
say the country that we are in right now is a lawless country? Because if you have courts being partial, the judiciary is a very sensitive institution.
Sadly.
So if we have courts being partial and all that, are you trying to say, because now you're so sure the Supreme Court might still want to favor Wike, are you saying we're running a lawless country?
At this point, it feels like we are running a country where the leaders, the politicians, are above the law. The law only counts for the average Nigerians, and not the politicians, the people that are supposed to be the ones holding the law, making sure the law takes its full course and does the right thing. It feels like at this point they are above the law, and the law doesn't care about their activities.
All right, that's it for today's edition of Trends on LJE News. Of course, many thanks to Judith. Judith, that was a very brilliant contribution.
Thank you.
To our viewers and listeners, make sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe at LJE News on all social media platforms to stay in the loop and join the conversation ahead of our next show. My name is Omotola Adeleke. See you next time. Bye for now.